Are you gonna make your way back here? Who rattled your cage? Who rattled your cage? Are you gonna make your way back here where modesty pays? Where modesty pays? Are you gonna make your way back here? The world's your stage. The world's your stage. Are you gonna make your way back here? Who rattled your cage? Who rattled your cage? God, you know I love it when you say you miss me madly. True. God, you know I love it when you say you miss me madly. I got it badly. I love you sadly. You're the object of my affection. Nerves of steel turning my direction. My desire and my intention, yeah. You're the deal, world without limits, ours to steal, and everybody in it. Come and find me in the motor hotel, yeah. I ain't never gonna get you back here, but I'm in denial. I'm in denial. I ain't never gonna get you back here. Tomorrow's child, tomorrow's child. I ain't never gonna get you back here. Got plenty of time, got plenty of time. I ain't never gonna get you back here. I'm out of my depth, I'm out of my depth. God, you know I love it when you say you miss me madly. True. God, you know I love it when you say you miss me madly. I got it badly. I love you sadly. You're the object of my affection. Nerves of steel turning my direction. My desire and my intention, yeah. You're the deal, world without limits, ours to steal, and everybody in it. Come and find me in the motor hotel, yeah. You're the object of my affection. Nerves of steel turning my direction. My desire and my intention, yeah. You're the deal, world without limits, ours to steal, and everybody in it. Come and find me in the motor hotel, yeah.
Oh. Mm. I bet I'm not on. I bet I'm not on. I'll start video. There you go.
Can you hear me, Vince? Hi, hello there.
Flush, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I think they're blanking it all out, aren't they? When they're showing a video or something.
I don't know. Maybe it's the algorithm where they only can play 45 seconds or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were going to play the whole video, the first video, but I don't
No,
know.
I think FaceTime with an algorithm, and it basically, because it's copyright material, even though it's our own.
Oh, really? If it's your own as well?
Very clever, yeah.
Oh, wow. How come? So they don't have to pay royalties, or
Exactly. Well, so yes, if they
yeah,
play a video, then the publishers would sue
yeah,
them.
yeah, that's why.
How are you anyway? Your
Oh,
beard's looking fine.
fine. Huh? Pardon?
Your beard's looking almost natural.
I know it's getting all like. I mean, it's still, I think I'm going to have to trim it though, 'cause it's getting all, when one hair's longer than the other one, and they kind of get all bushy and curly. But I swear it grows faster than my head. With my head hair, it does, and my ears grows faster. So I ordered like 4 trimmers from the online Pinterest or something. They looked amazing, like online. They were doing all these things. Of course, they're made in China. These things, and they arrived, and they're such a load of rubbish. You can't. They don't even cut like your eyebrows. They're like you have to charge them on a USB. I mean, it's such rubbish. Honestly, I bought 4 because it's like, hey, get 4. If you buy 4, they're only $20 each. So I thought I'd give some to my friends, but it's even embarrassing to give them to your friends. So they're just sitting in there with lots of other trash.
Well, my recommendation, there's a thing called is it called something skull shaper or something?
Yeah.
I'll send you the link at some point, but it's basically one of that. It's like a beard. It's like a beard,
All right.
but also
Yeah.
it's for your head as well.
Yeah.
It's sort of both at once, skull shaper or something like that. But it's really cool. I've got like 4 of them, and they all work. And I tried to get my son to use one, but it's too weird for him.
Yeah. But it's a whole new thing for me though. It's like another world, isn't it? It's like
You have to watch the insects.
for the insects.
Yeah.
What, like growing in my beard? You mean? Yeah. All the eggs and things.
Yeah.
They won't. I said one of the flats in Cardiff had an infestation of of lice or something. Not lice, but something in the carpet. And she goes, "Oh well, we could get the fumigators and kill all the eggs." And I said, just fumigate it anyway. Throw the carpet out and just get a new one in there because I can't think of anything worse, because they can't just be on the carpet, can they? No, they must be everywhere. I mean, I know we had them at school. I mean, only when you get them in your hair,
Yeah.
But
when I was at school, you had to get like de-liced I think once a year. They had an inspector coming round, and there was a bloke literally or a lady, I can't remember, a nurse that went through your hair trying to find out. But they still do that now. I mean, in my son's school, they do that once a year.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things, you can't get rid of them. Yeah. So how's Brooklyn? Is it all right still?
It's all right,
Bit gun mad still, Vince? I heard all. Is it calmed down a bit?
Well, I mean, it's not mad. It was never. It wouldn't. I think it's just depressing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same. Everybody wears a mask, and most of the stores aren't open.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's just weird,
Yeah. I hope my iPad's going to be okay. I just dropped it on the floor earlier. It fell off. But it's fine. It didn't smash or anything. So I just hope it's not got cracks inside it. Oh, and earlier it was so funny. I couldn't work the TV. The TV wasn't working. It's very temperamental, this TV. And the remote wouldn't work. So I was like looking all online, going, what do you do with the remote? Like, is there an app where you can use the app to control the TV? And it's always like BioVision apps for like, you know, for your curtains and your lights and your front door. And I thought, oh God, I'm never going to be able to learn these. So I just ended up changing the batteries. It was like, duh, you know, it was like the most simple thing to think of was the one thing that you didn't think of, you know, and that's fine. But it's so weird, that CD, it just switches itself off. Like you switch it on, it goes off like on its own after like 40 seconds or something. And then if you leave it on a channel for so long, it'll just switch off. And then when the train goes by, like the DLR, something happens. It goes, Land Central has been connected to this TV, and it gets stuck on the channel, so you can't change it. So you have to switch it off at the mains, and then wait a little bit, and then switch it all back on again, and it reboots itself. It goes online. I just think, like, you know, it doesn't seem to. I think it's supposed to update itself, but it doesn't seem to do it very much, you know. But I think they might have launched a sort of a line of duds. Do you know what I mean? And they kind of because there was this good deal on them, and I think they just tried to get rid of them, the TVs. You know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like with the guy I spoke to, I phoned up a guy in, about the you know, how to switch the TV on without the remote. And I said, oh, they're not. I said, they're a bit temperamental, these TVs. And he just didn't say anything, you know. Oh. So I saw Gareth this week. Oh, yeah, you know, don't you?
Remix sounds great.
Yeah, it's not going to be those particular sounds. We've replaced the sounds, like sound alike.
Replaced the Depeche Mode sounds, as I understand it.
Yeah, with sound alikes, because apparently it was. But we don't want to rock any boats at this stage, do we? Not really. And I said, well, I said to Gareth, well, actually, I think Depeche Mode suing Erasure might be a really good story. But, like, you know, get the headlines, you know. But it'd be too expensive.
No, it's a good remix. It's a great remix. I think Gareth done an amazing job.
He's done another one as well, which is really good as well. It's like much more experimental, you know, like how he does, you know. And how's your family, hon?
Oh, everybody's fine. You know, my son had his first COVID test yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And which we were really dreading because it's quite painful. I don't know if you've seen it online.
Well, I did.
So they put this thing right up your nose.
Myself, and I think I don't think I pushed it up far enough. I haven't heard anything back.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So he had his first COVID test, and he was okay about it. And then next week he's having some dental work done. You know, he's having like, I don't know, all his teeth removed.
Wow, what, like for necessary? Or...
Yeah, but the reason he has to have his COVID test was because he was he's going into hospital, so they have to put him back down, not down.
Oh,
put him under.
Through his teeth, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, through his teeth, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a surgical procedure. So
it's not for the school then. I thought it was for the.
No. He's not going to be starting. I mean, the school is opening in September, but you have the choice as a parent to, you know, whether you want your child to go to the school or be homeschooled.
Yeah.
Or, you know, be video schooled, and that's what we're doing. I don't feel safe.
No, I wouldn't feel safe. No, it's the best thing to. I know it must be tiring doing that, but does Tracy do it with him as well?
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same. I mean, we both feel that it's just. Yeah,
it's just safer.
It's safer, and also, to be honest, it saves us a lot of. You know, he does quite well on the video schooling. You know what I mean? He doesn't just disappear from the screen.
Right.
You know, so he does quite well. I think for younger children, it's much more difficult.
Yeah.
To maintain their, like, you know, interest.
Attention. Yeah. I just read this article, funnily enough, about video on virtual truancy.
Oh yeah.
Like they're getting parents for their kids for not being on screen online.
Really?
Like virtual truancy. Yeah. If you're not if they're not there, if they don't see them there,
Wow.
well, no, it's like that they have to be on film.
Is that in
Right.
UK? Yeah.
No, in the US.
Oh, the US. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all weird here, mate. You know what I mean, everything's strange.
Yeah. It's kind of gone a bit crazy, I think. Yeah. Yeah, my theory is the poles are shifting. We've been told that for ages, haven't we? And I think it's just affecting some people's brains more than other people.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because
Right, yeah.
you know.
So how are you doing anyway? How are you doing? Are you coping and everything on your own?
I'm all right, thank you, Vince. I was lucky today because I was up early, so I did these ISDNs this morning, and then I went to the shop because my fridge was bare, like stocked up on some things, and I met two ladies going downstairs with rubbish bags, and I said, "Oh, are you cleaners?" And they said yes. And I said, "Oh, are you looking for work still?" And they said yes. So I hired them to come on Thursday because my Delilah's having a really hard time with her menopause.
Oh.
It's like driving her crazy. She can't sleep. You know, she's not on antidepressants, but they've put her on, when it lowers your blood pressure, but she can't sleep. It's like, I don't know why. She's like, gets panic attacks and stuff, you know.
Oh,
It's
shit.
not happened before, that. But I mean, Tracy's going through the same thing, isn't she? Is she? Or is she too young?
Oh, since she was like 20, you know.
Eh? No.
Kidding.
No. Oh. Well, I wonder what's going on then. Are they having a private chat with
I don't know
Dan?
how this is working. I think Richard Evans, I can see a picture of him on the beach. Can you see that on your top screen?
No, not on me. It's just being you
Yeah.
here.
But, oh, hang on. Something's happening. Oh, everybody's coming back online now.
Right?
Can I get rid of that? I don't know. Can I? I'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. What's happening then?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
What's going
Right.
on?
Are we online? Are we online, do you think, Paul?
We haven't any idea what's going on.
I think we're online. So I'd like to say that if anybody can see this, this is Paul Taylor, the incredible art person,
Art director.
art director, yeah, at New Records.
Hi,
We did
guys. Hi, everybody.
Job on our artwork. Hello.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can only see two people at once. Do you know? If you do gallery.
Put it on
Oh, there's gallery view. There we are.
gallery view.
Yeah, Richard's not on there.
Got Richard. Looks like he's at the beach.
He does look like he's
Yeah,
at the
run off the beach. Yeah,
Luckily, he's taking his shoes off.
Bloody mosquitoes coming in.
All right, folks. So we have Paul Taylor, art extraordinaire, and also Daniel Miller, who runs the record company Mute Records.
Hello, everybody.
We're very
Lovely to see you. Although I can't see you, but I can see Vincent, Andy, and Paul.
Happy Neon Day, everybody.
Happy Neon Day.
Anyway, we're very happy that you've agreed to this torture.
It's very funny. It's kind of, I don't think I've ever experienced a release day like this one before, because usually we don't do anything, do we, really? Maybe we go out for dinner or something. And so it feels like it's like my birthday or something.
It is.
It's like really weird, yeah.
The birthday of the album.
Yeah, the birthday of the album, precisely.
Year zero.
Yeah, year zero.
So I got so Paul. I mean, I was the reason we asked you to come on our little show because I've got some really probing questions for you. You ready for this?
Okay.
All right, okay. I mean, because I did a little tweet earlier this week and asked people what would people like to ask you, were you online? And
don't be scared, Paul. You look a bit scared. Don't be scared.
All right. I'll go for the easy ones first, right?
Okay.
All right. So, what is your favourite ever of all time album cover?
Of anything.
Yes.
It would probably be the Darklands album by the Juice and Mary Chain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It resonated with me for the first time as a piece of art, with what was going on with the music, and really kind of pushed me towards what I wanted to do, because I was always really into music, and then that was there was just a real correlation. Like before that, it had been there was the artwork, there was the people doing the art, there was the music, but it was all quite separated, and it just kind of seemed to come together with that for me.
Apparently that they're on one of our records, on Andy.
Yeah, they're on drama. They say they shout the guilty.
Guilty.
Yeah, which they did very well, really well. Yeah, I mean, they're massive now, aren't they? Jesus and the Mary Chain.
Yeah, they had a real resurgence.
Yeah, yeah.
They were produced by Flood. That's how that was our connection, right?
Yeah, but we were in the studio at the same time, weren't we? Or they were there.
Yeah. Well, they were just like spotty 15-year-olds or something, as I remember.
The lead singer is Scottish, isn't he, Paul?
Yes. Yeah, they're all Scottish.
Oh, they're all Scottish. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why, Vince. Why they did it.
So the next question for you, Paul. I feel like I'm the interviewer, or I am the interviewer. But the next question for you is, because you've designed and been involved in zillions of Mute Records covers, okay?
Yeah.
Art covers. What's the biggest blooper you ever did? Where you did here you go, when you printed something and it was everybody said, yeah, great, but then there was a huge spelling mistake.
Like a little mistake or anything like that.
Well, yeah. My favourite one that I did was...
There have been loads, haven't there, Paul?
There's been loads. My favourite one is we did a catalogue for Mute a few years ago, and I ended up writing a lot of the information that went with about the bands and the artists. And there was a paragraph about one of the artists, and I was writing it, and it was, and then they went and did, and I couldn't think of what to put. I thought, I'll get back to that, but I never got back to it, and it just went to print with that.
Yeah.
So we'll never know what they.
I think that's
Can you remember which artist it was?
Oh, I know which artist it was. I just didn't want to say.
Okay, fair enough.
You can say what artist it was now. Which artist was it?
It was Simon Bobby,
Oh, there you go.
Crime and City Solution.
Great band.
Yes. It was just after his first solo album, and I was trying to go on a flourish, and I just didn't get back to that flourish.
Did he ever notice?
No, I don't think I showed him a copy.
Oh, good.
So don't.
I'll find it and send it to him now.
So Daniel, how many bands are there now on Mute? How many bands altogether? Do you know?
That's a very good question, actually.
They're
bands. I mean, there's lots of. We've got more and more solo artists actually these days, just by chance rather than design. I would say active, because obviously there are a lot of people who haven't made records in a while, and there's some people who are more active. I don't know. I haven't counted. It's probably about 20, Paul. What do you say?
I was thinking 20, 25, something like that.
Yeah.
But still a lot of people, isn't it? Quite a lot of people.
It's a lot of people, but they don't. Luckily, they don't all make records at the same time. If we had everybody in the studio at the same time, that would be a bit mind-boggling.
Yeah. No. So I could never imagine a Mute "We Are the World" type thing.
Funnily enough, I can.
Oh, you can.
And I'll make a note.
Oh, okay.
You know what? That I mean, I think I mentioned this earlier. That you did the mute night. I mean, what was it, a few years ago now?
The breaking down building night, Vince.
No, when we had that like that was like
The Roundhouse.
the Roundhouse.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be an amazing thing to like revisit, and I would say that I would probably be the best promoter you could do that with.
I'm sure,
because I would make it financially viable.
I mean, it's something we've been talking about. It was a massive endeavor, as you can imagine, and all the artists came over, and nobody took any fees, which was really great. And it'd be great to do something like that again. We did a kind of very, very mini version of it recently online for the Love Record Stores Day, where a lot of the artists, including you guys, contributed to it, which was really great. Vince did a great studio tour, and then you sang a song, and a lot of the artists contributed to that. I mean, it was a similar concept, but not quite as ambitious, I suppose. But again, really appreciated all the artists making the effort to do something interesting.
I'm very proud to be part of the label, Daniel. I really am.
Oh, Andy, that's very kind, and obviously we're very proud to have you and Vince as part of the label. It's been an amazing journey, as they say.
Yeah, it is. But it's like it goes so quickly. It seems like 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember the first time you came to the office, just after you'd been selected.
Oh yeah. Deary me. I can't imagine how I must have looked like.
What was that like?
You looked a bit tired, I seem to remember.
Did I? Well, that figures, that's like,
what was it like when you first met Daniel and came to the office, Andy?
I mean, I've always been pretty nervous and scared of Daniel, I suppose. Kind of, only over the years got to realise that he's quite a decent bloke, really. But it's kind of, when somebody's the boss, it's like you have to pay them respect and stuff, and also like when I first met Vince, I was the new boy, and it was kind of I was very aware of that, and I don't know, I just kind of slowly drifted my way in to kind of try and fit, and I mean, to be honest, I had no idea of the variety of artists that there were on Mute, and people that would never ever get released anywhere else, really amazing.
Well, that's what we like to do, things that other people don't like to do, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I remember because of Vince's track record at that time of moving on, shall we say, from project to project.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I wonder how long this one's going to last, and I would never have guessed that it was going to continue for those 30. I don't know how many years it is.
It's weird because I must admit, I did get nervous after Wonderland, didn't do so well. It was kind of, by Vince's standards, and it was like, I thought, like, oh no, I'm going to get the blame from like this, and it's going to.
I think we all thought we were going to get the blame. I mean, it was it was a very difficult moment actually, because and I remember we had a lot of I remember Vince and I having quite a lot of discussions about what went, why and what could we do.
Yeah.
The great thing about that period was that obviously Vince up to that point had massive success.
Yeah.
And you toured in a transit van.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a step backwards for Vince, and did the colleges and everything like that. And it was great that that you grasped the nettle and really got going. Built the fan base from scratch again, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I kind of felt like a bit like I don't know, like it made me feel like a bit like because I loved Yazoo as well, you know, and you know, and would sing to Yazoo, and I had that intonation, and I didn't think that my voice was as strong as Alison's voice. So that took me a long time to get mentally over. And then of course you have to build up your stage persona and stuff like that, you know. And then also, yeah, I was just glad that we had a second chance, you know, with doing the circus record, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I just thought, like, I don't know. I mean, my mum did say to me, "So what are you going to do now?" Like, you know, after. I said, well, hopefully we're still gonna carry on. You know, it's like I'm a musician, you know, and that's what you do, you know.
Did you approach recording the circus differently then after that? Because I suppose Wonderland, it was you would have gone in a little bit free and not really thinking about it, but going in to do the circus, you might have felt.
I suppose so. I don't know. I mean, I kind of felt out of my depth on Wonderland, to be honest, because it was like maybe it was too much all at once, like being at Trident, and you know, it was like a huge studio, and I don't know. But I sort of felt like with the circus, it was more like a home thing. It was more like just me and Vince, and just being in this little studio with a little desk, like when we were doing our writing. I can't remember how we wrote it. Was it in the studio?
Yeah, that was a small studio in the writing we did mostly at home, and then we went to quite smaller studio. I mean, Trident was like completely over the top, you know. That was a real old style 70s like rock and roll studio.
Yeah.
Then we went to smaller studios and then started doing the work there.
Right. I mean, I'm sure we must have been in debt quite a lot.
I'm sure we were.
I really remember clearly. I think you were at. We had a studio. Mutes always had a studio wherever we've been, and at one point we had it on the top floor of the Rough Trade distribution warehouse in King's Cross.
Yeah.
And I remember coming. I think you guys and Flood were working on Sometimes, and I remember coming in to see how it was going, and I think either Flood or Vince said, "I think we've got a hit here." And I remember Flood pressed play, and everybody left the room and left me alone to listen to it on my own. And I said, "Yeah, I think you have." And it was a revelation, really. And I remember because that went to radio during that college tour.
Oh,
and
right.
some of the dates that you played, you know, were kind of half full or through. They weren't packed. They weren't sold out. And I remember when Sometimes first got played on the radio, you were about to play the Mean Fiddler, in London, which is a small club in Harlesden.
Yeah.
And I remember arriving there just for sound check or something, and there was like queues like 5 times round the block, and and within very short time after that, you were playing like the NEC in Birmingham, 15,000 people. It was amazing. It happened so fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. That's one thing that kind of staggers me is the ability, like, of the radio and stuff can either make you or break you. You know, if they don't, you're not played, that's it. I mean, maybe not much now, but it's still hugely important.
It's still really, in spite of all the other platforms that are out there, radio is still, you know, in the UK anyway, it's still very, very powerful, because it's about the only country in the world that I can think of, major, big country in the world, where they have national radio.
Right.
So you get on the radio and it's broadcast to everybody in the country, whereas in most countries, in the States, for instance, or here in Germany, I'm in Berlin at the moment, it's much more regional. And so even if you get played on a station somewhere a lot, you're only getting to a much smaller part of the population, whereas in the UK, I think they say that Radio 2 is the most listened to radio station in the world.
Yeah.
That might be bullshit.
I mean, it's amazing as well because I think that's what gives the UK its kind of music power base, really, because it's
exactly
it kind of because the information comes out of here and then spreads around everywhere. you know.
Yeah. It was the same, not so much now, but it was the same with the music press. You know, that was, you know, if you were into music, the moment whichever of your favorite music papers, weekly music papers, whether it was NME or Sounds or Record Mirror, Melody Maker came out, you know, you were down the newsagent getting the latest, and that was like right across the country.
Yeah. We're going back to the neon.
yes, God, yeah, the neon.
Yeah, and the creating of it. I can't believe this. When did I first say to you, do you feel like doing some songwriting?
About like 2 days after the last tour finished.
Was it? It wasn't.
It was. It felt like that. I was really shocked when you got in touch with me and said you'd like make a new record, because I thought, oh, it's going to be another like year or so. But it was really soon after that big touring thing that we did, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was like a year and a half or something like that.
I mean, I said to Tracy, I said, like, I can't believe he wants to make a record, right? I mean, not that I didn't want to do it, you know.
Yeah.
I was quite shocked. That it was so soon after touring.
Well, I'm shocked as well. I don't know why. But I don't know.
We were touring for a long time though, so that might have, in between actually doing Will Be Gone and this.
Yeah.
It probably was a long time.
I don't know. Yeah, and then because I was wondering, because I mean, when you started working on the tracks, like how long does it take you? You know, like because they were pretty much up to scratch when I first heard them in the studio. The tracks that you had created. I mean, how long? I mean, that must have taken ages, wasn't it? If you've, I mean,
it took, you know, the way that this time round, what I did was I come up with some ideas, some chord changes, rip a few other people off, you know, have an idea or something, and then I developed those ideas. But then I would go around the tracks maybe 3 times. So you listen to it, you go, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then again, you finesse it.
Yeah.
After the 3rd time, that's when I presented the tracks to you.
Right.
And said, okay, you know, this is maybe an idea for a track, for a song. And we had like, we had 20 tracks, right?
Oh, I thought it was like 16 or...
No, we had 20 tracks, 20 ideas.
Oh, there were 20, okay. So,
yeah.
Oh God, what was I going to say then about the? Oh yeah, so what's the, when you're like working on a new track, what's the basis of the track? Where do you begin? Do you begin with the percussion or the bass line, or where do you start from?
It's always the chord change, the chord progression. Always.
You don't use polyphonics synths.
No, well, it might be. I mean, I usually like start with the same way that you and I wrote prior to this album. It's all with a piano chord.
Right. Oh, so you still use the chords? Because I didn't think, because when I heard that, I was under the assumption that you hadn't used chords at this time. But it was.
No, I don't use the chords when it comes to recording the final thing.
Oh.
The chords are there to suggest an idea or a melody idea to you. You know, so I'll do it.
Oh, so quite good. So the chords aren't necessarily apparent when I hear them. Oh, okay. Because it was we were just remixing Nerves of Steel.
Yeah.
Gareth,
great, by the way.
Gareth said there are no chords on this song, and I was like, you know, I said, well. And then somebody was, I did one interview and they were talking about that you'd recreated all the sounds on analog synthesizers, which I didn't know that either, you know. But I thought they meant monophonic. So it was kind of like, I was getting all screwed up in my head about, you know, they said, oh yeah, this is like, this album's like chorus. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not.
I've got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, for people who've heard Neon so far, people realise it's a very different atmosphere and mood to World Be Gone. Do you make a conscious decision at the beginning of the process to do something different, or how do you decide what the mood of the record's going to be when you start? Is it something that just flows naturally, or is it a conscious decision?
I mean, for me personally, it wasn't a conscious decision. but it was a decision to capture the excitement of being a young person when I first went out and started buying records, and at the same time, when I explained World Begone to people, I said it was kind of like an incantation of saying "World Begone," like like a witch sort of thing. So I think it happened, and it just put all that stuff, all that sort of worry and tension. It just like put that all behind me, and it really, I don't know. I just looked at things in a different way in the world, and like, especially being with my Stephen, because he doesn't take self-criticism. He won't let you do it to yourself. So, which is so healthy. So I don't know what Vince thinks about it, but it just came out though, didn't it, Vince? Like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It wasn't. I mean, we definitely didn't sit down and go, "Oh well, this album should be." Because the thing is with songwriting, it's so unpredictable. You just don't know. I mean, every time that Andy and I have sat down to write an album or to work on an album, it's like always in the back of my mind is, "Oh, we've run out of ideas."
Yeah.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen, and then miraculously, it kind of does. The magic happens, and there's an idea that comes out from completely nothing.
Yeah.
You come up with a little basic kind of like chord change or something, and then suddenly that develops into a whole song, and then the lyrics get developed, the whole thing becomes something, and but it's not something you can count on.
No. I mean, you say like, sometimes you just sit there for hours, like blank.
Yeah.
But is there sometimes a song that, like, when you've written a song, you think that's the way we want to go, or does each song just come on its own? Or
I don't think
I'm overthinking it.
Yeah, I think there are quite a few songs on the Neon that are kind of similar, like sort of related. But maybe the 4 up-tempo tracks, maybe. And I mean, some of them are quite similar. I was a bit surprised by that afterwards, But no, we didn't think about even that. Like, it's going to be dance, it's going to be retro. It's kind of
that's interesting.
Not at all. No.
I've got a question for the three of you. Do you ever disagree about the single choices?
Yes.
Yep.
Daniel's the maestro, so so I always pass my responsibility over to him. I leave it to him because it's like,
I don't remember that many disagreements.
No, we didn't. No, we haven't really disagreed. Really, it's difficult to make a choice, though, isn't it? Sometimes,
It is, and I think it's especially difficult as an artist because you've lived with the song from the beginning to end.
Yeah.
And some songs you've spent much more time on, and therefore you might give them more value in a certain way. And some songs might have come really fast, and you think, oh well, it's a bit throwaway. But when I listen obviously during the process a bit to see how it's going. But I suppose I don't have the background to the songs. I just listen to the songs as I hear them. There's no story behind them, the making of them. I remember when in France I came to visit you, and you said, "Oh, in Toulouse, and we listened to the tracks, and they were sounding really good." He said, "Oh, well, here's a B-side," and it was Love to Hate You.
Oh no!
And I said, "No, that's not a B-side. That's definitely not a B-side."
I remember for me the classic was Chorus, because I came away convinced from recording the album in Hamburg that Home should be the single, because I just thought, I still think it's a really good song, and we tried it and we mixed it and all the rest of it. I think we did it in where did we mix it? Somewhere in West London. And I still love that. I still love that song. I thought, oh man, it's a single, but it just didn't pan out. And actually, you were right, Daniel. Dare I say?
Yeah. I mean,
The chorus was the chorus. What was the first single out of the album?
Chorus. Yeah,
Yeah,
chorus. It was. I mean, Daniel, this might be too personal, but do you have like panels that listen to the songs and then you decide all between you, or is it down to your personal?
Well, we do. You know, we do take. Of course, I take other people's views into account.
Yeah.
And obviously, the people have to go to radio and so forth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Out promotions, Nikki and Caroline.
Yeah.
But you know, but sometimes I feel really strongly about a song.
Right.
Sometimes I think, well, it could be one of these three or something like that. They're all really good. Sometimes I think it's got to be this one. And so I kind of, you know, obviously if everybody completely disagrees with me, then I'll take that into account. But generally speaking, you know, if I feel really strong about a particular song, the single, I'll say it. And,
Great. Yeah. I think it was released in a really good order this time. The order was well done. And what was I going to say again? I can't remember now. Paul, I believe you have a competition prize.
I do have a competition prize for the people out there. This is my neon room.
Oh.
So I have some proofs of the artwork. These are some printing proofs.
Oh, lovely.
Oh. This is what I get to just make sure everything's okay.
Yeah. Amazing. I love the what's in that? What's the gold corner? In the gold corner.
Yeah, so
is that like a little picture?
That's a picture of you and Vincent.
Yeah.
Around by gold foil.
Yeah. I love the colours. It kind of reminds me of Flex by Lena Lovitch, you know.
Oh yeah.
In that she took photos inside the Guinness factory, inside one of those giant vats that held the Guinness when it was emptied out. Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah, that looks fantastic, Paul. So
so I've got two of those. So those are prizes. Richard's going to organise a competition.
Yeah.
That people can win. There's two of them. So there's two
prizes.
There's
only two in the whole world of those.
So that's it. There was only two in the whole world. That's what I got to do a final approval. So that's what they were used for. And then, no others exist. So I will be sending them out personally from my home. This is where I live, in the neon.
So what do they have to do? I'm not sure what they have to do.
I don't know what they have to do. Richard's in charge of that, and he hasn't told us. All I was told was to show the prize. I got a prize. I've also got some runners-up prizes of a few Flexi-Discs. The Flexi-Disc, which was Vince's idea.
Yeah, that was amazing. I got one through the post. Vince.
I have one also.
Yeah, a friend Marion got one as well, and she's just like on the mailing list.
But there was only 500 of them made.
Yeah.
I think 350 went to EIS people, and then I've got like five or six left here. So again, part of what Richard will do, he'll do a little competition, and I'll drop off to the post office.
So Paul, I have to ask something that we've been discussing. Well, not we've been discussing, but there's on the email discussion kind of thing is we're thinking about the idea of publishing or releasing an Erasure songbook. And the reason I ask you about this in particular is because I had this idea about, like, because we've got quite a few songs, you know. We could probably fill a songbook.
Like 500 probably.
Yeah, and I when I was younger, I mean, I don't know if you ever seen the Beatles Complete?
No.
All right, okay. There's a real famous songbook called the Beatles Complete, and it's pretty chunky, you know.
I can imagine it is.
Yeah, they released 13 albums in their lifetimes, 13 studio albums, and so it's a song. It's a traditional. It's got, like, you know, the chords. It's got the lyrics. It's also got the artwork from the various albums and stuff, and also artwork by Harrison. which is really cool. And I just thought it would be a really cool, nice, interesting thing to do, to release an Erasure.
I think that'd be amazing.
Songbook.
Yeah, great idea.
But to make it, rather than make it just like a piece of like manuscript, you know, like to make it into a piece of art.
Yeah, to have it as an object.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the Beatles complete songbook is quite iconic, I think, and there's, you know, still selling and stuff. I don't know that we'd sell that many copies or anything, but as a piece of work, you know, with the artwork, with the lyrics, with the, you know, with beautiful. It could be a real beautiful thing, I think, you know.
Absolutely. I'd love to be involved, and I know Daniel would as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
Make it happen. We're in. We're all in.
We're in.
Okay, folks, expect the Erasure songbook.
Yeah.
The next Erasure tour will be on in the
But Vincent, will you join me in saying thank you to all people for like supporting the Neon and for going out and it, and I think it's been a really great campaign for us and some brilliant music that we've made all together. And I think we're going to cheers to everybody.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks to everybody for supporting.
Yeah, to all the amazing Erasure fans, the loyal fans, and to the band for making an incredible record.
Incredible.
Thanks, guys.
Another.
I think we're going to move to a version of Kid, You're Not Alone, which is the last track on the album. I think so.
Oh.
Here we go.
For the first time, the combining of souls that we already knew. A letter that I wrote to myself and to those that I hurt, to forgive my shortcomings. Heart upon the sleeve, one like a scar. Not alone, we live this life forever. And more the light I've been, and as sure as day becomes the night.
Woo! Here we are back.
Are we back?
Yeah. You've got your guitar there, then?
I need to get my fingers
Oh, yeah. Oh, hardened.
hardened, yes.
Digger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're back from outer space.
Andy, you know you were saying about doing this I Will Survive together with I Love to Hate.
Yeah, segue. Yeah.
So when you sang it to me, when you sent that little demo,
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything, right? You're just gonna sing it, right?
I was just going to sing it. Yeah, but it's kind of like, I mean, subtly, it would be nice just to kind of go back into Love to Hate You. So it'd only be kind of like a refrain in the song.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've messed about with it a little bit and I can't really figure out. So I think it's something that you and I need to do face to face.
We'll do it together, yeah, because I thought, yeah, it's kind of like, because I thought it was the middle eight, but it's not actually. It's the intro to the second verse, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have to see anyway.
We'll do that in 2021.
Yeah, 2021, which should be much, I suppose. Now we're supposedly getting questions from fans. Are you joining us, Richard? Or yeah, here we are.
Hello, all right.
Yeah, death from 1,000 cuts.
I have 10,000 questions for you, so I hope you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, and I love your T-shirt.
It's very special, the neon T-shirt. There's only 50 of them made, and Paul Taylor, who you were just talking to, he produced them, and they've gone out to sort of the people who've worked on the project and that sort of thing.
Wow, I love them.
But I've actually got a spare one.
Have you?
I'll throw into the prize that's going to go in the Erasure newsletter next week.
Brilliant. All right. Fantastic.
So who's ready for some questions?
I suppose I'll go first. If you're not, I mean, just maybe do them one by one each.
Okay, well, they're in a sort of a mixed up order, so
Okay.
I'll just do them as they come.
Yeah.
So first question comes from Mark Livingstone, and he says, how has it been promoting the neon when you've been separate to each other?
Well, it's quite, it's sort of normal really that we're separate now when we're doing promotion, because, you know, Vince is in the US, so I suppose, you know, he concentrates more on the US side of things, and which means I get lumbered with all the ISDNs, which basically means you have to go, before COVID, you have to go to the little radio station and sit there all day and take 10-minute calls for all the radio stations around the whole country. So it's quite, I mean, I suppose it's a bit like being a switchboard operator, you know. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, to do that job is pretty amazing. So, sorry, what was the question, Richard? About the promotion. Sorry. Yeah.
Question was, how are you coping with doing all the promotion separately?
Well, that's kind of normal for us now, I suppose. I mean, when we come together, I think it's much more funny because we bounce off each other. What do you think, Vince?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's not a lot of fun. I mean, I know people say to me, well, what do the lyrics mean? And I just pretend, I just make stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what Andy was talking about was blah, blah, blah. blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we're together, then we can bounce off each other, and it's funnier.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question goes into the past. It's from Vera, and it says, does the snail or the swan or the tank or the big flower still exist somewhere?
The snail was deflated. The swan is in my garden with flat tires. And I'm not sure about the other two things. Do you know where they are, Vince?
No.
I
know where the tank is.
Oh, the tank, yeah?
The tank is actually still in Chertsey.
Oh, so it's in the garden where you lived.
Yeah, I don't own that place anymore, so it's still in the garden. It's in
Yeah.
Chertsey in Surrey.
Wow. Oh, that's quite good. So one day we'll have to buy our own steamroller, Vince, with this, those organ on it, and drive around the UK and do a tour, which will take us probably about 5 years.
Fair enough. Part 2 of that question is: can you imagine an exhibition like the Kylie one at the V&A?
Well, I don't think there's enough stuff. I don't think I've saved enough stuff necessarily, and I don't know if people would be that interested really. And a lot of it is in my basement, probably growing mold on it. So unless you're a scientist that's interested in mold variations on different types of material, I don't know. It could be rescued. There was talk of somebody coming down and, what do you call it when you put it all in order?
Restoration.
Doing like an inventory or something. Yeah. Saving it. That was actually Tam Vince that suggested that. Yeah. Which I thought it was quite a good idea. Really.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
This is from, apologies to this guy if I get his name wrong, but it's something like Richard Tramantosi. And he says, who sings the backing vocals on the Neon?
I mostly sang the backing vocals, but then we had a gospel mum and her daughter sang backing vocals on about 3 or 4 songs. Was it, Vince?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what songs they were, but you can probably hear them if you listen carefully. You could probably hear the difference. Maybe towards the fade outs, you can hear them. Okay,
question for Vince next. This is from Gino Radzik. He says, Vince, how do you create the lush guitar-like sounds in the pre-chorus of Nerves of Steel?
Hang on, let me just find that. And I'll tell you.
It's really great, that sound.
It's probably a Juno 60.
Yeah.
Juno 60.
Also, yeah. Also,
Juno...
how did you create that low buzz that's behind the chorus?
As I remember, that was a Pro One, I think.
Yeah. I love that.
Everything was done with almost everything was done with analog synthesizers.
Yeah.
And then also I'm really experimenting a lot recently with so I record the basic sound and then I start manipulating it on Logic with Logic. So recording the reverb on it or the echo on it or the distortion on it and making it into something more. That's the way I've been working recently.
No, I think that works really amazingly, Vince. That's I love the end of Tower of Love.
Oh yeah,
amazing. Yeah, it's really great.
And Gino, who asked that question, today is his 15th wedding anniversary to Irem. So happy
anniversary, everybody! What's 15? 15? Is that Brillo pad? I'm not sure.
Paper or straw or something.
Yeah.
Actually, before we go on, can I just say a very happy hello to Sarah McCartney?
Yay!
That was it.
Oh, I want to say hello as well to all my family because I haven't seen them for so long, and I feel really bad. But I'll see you soon.
Next question. This is from Emma Adam. And it says, the song 65,000 is so out of place on the Innocence album. Why was it included?
That's a Vince Clarke special, that one. I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I can't remember. I mean, it was... yeah, I mean, it was just... it was one of those kind of concept ideas. I thought, oh, that'd be fun, to do. And
is
that sample.
Is that Pennsylvania Avenue 65?
Yeah.
Oh, so it seemed like, I mean, that was like a sort of a marching song, wasn't it? In the beginning, that's where the song came from.
It was a swing track, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's one of those samples you go, oh, that's clear. I can use that.
Clear? What, clear?
Clear as in, you know,
Oh,
there
no.
was nothing
Well, you got
behind
it cleared. Get it cleared. Cleared.
No, get it cleared. No.
Oh, wow. So you didn't have to then in those days, or?
Well, I don't know. We're probably in trouble now.
Oh no, don't say that. But it's just words, 65,000. So that's like 4 notes.
Yeah. And Andy faithfully reproduced that particular sample.
Yes.
Before we do get in trouble.
5000.
Andy Conway says, my first experience of Erasure Live was the Wild tour many years ago. Who inspired Andy's wardrobe on that tour?
I have to say, my lovely friend who I haven't seen for ages, Dean Bright, who was like one of those fashion furious forward children, you know, from the 80s club scene. And his partner was Pearl, who's famously made the corsets for Jean-Paul Gaultier and for the Cowboys sparkling suits and from the Phantasmagorical tour and Kim Kardashian's new corsets. So basically we would just get together with Dean, go to a hotel bar or something, somewhere glamorous, you know, and get some big bits of paper out or photos of things and say, I would like this, or I would like a complete, like a wrestling leotard, but with some shells on the bottom or something like that, you know, or I had a chainmail top, I remember, that was covered with jewels, but it went rusty because of the sweat. And we also, he worked with Rachel, I can't remember her surname now, but they were all very close, all these people. It was very like Lee Bowery and all those people together, wasn't it, Vince, at that time?
Yeah.
My favourite question that came in for you comes from Wayne Boyce.
Yeah.
He says, what did Andy do with the butternut squash he had in his fridge when you did the last Facebook get-together?
Oh my goodness, the butternut squash. I think I roasted it, but I could only eat half of it because it was too much. And that was it.
Question for Vince from Caroline Jones. What is the maddest thing that Andy has got you to dress up as for a tour or a video? And what suggestions have you vetoed?
Well, it was never Andy's suggestions, really. I mean, it's always been the people that have made the video or directed the videos.
I think the caterpillar, Vince, that was a...
Well, actually, you know what? It was probably more the cactus.
The cactus. That was your idea, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. you wanted to be a cactus. So I thought, yeah, well, way to go. Yeah.
Okay, one for both of you from Paul Lynn. Which of all your albums are you most proud of, and which one do you think is your weakest?
Personally, I love Chorus, Nightbird, and I have to admit, I like Erasure. I have to admit, I have a soft spot for Love Boats because I never hardly listened to it, and when I put it on, it's always just a nice surprise, you know, because it was so unusual for us, and I like unusual things. Yeah, Vince.
My favourite is Chorus. Well, no, my favourite is the Neon, obviously.
Yeah.
Second favourite.
Who? In the shop today. Yeah.
My second favourite is Chorus, and the weakest one we've done, I don't know.
One of the ones with "world" in the title. Oh, what a world! No, that's not what.
Okay, moving on to a question from Vinny Albani. He says, what synthesizers and recording techniques were used to produce the music and the vocals on the new album?
Well, as far as the music is concerned, it was done almost entirely with analog synthesizers. I'm surrounded by those right now, and from this place. And then the vocals, Andy wanted to record somewhere different, which is really cool. So he recorded the vocals in Atlanta, and we went to a really old school studio, a proper studio, which we haven't done that for years, right, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realise the studio was analog, which I don't understand what that means. I mean, they recorded through an analog desk. Does that mean?
Yeah.
Into a computer, but mics are analog, aren't they? Just by their nature.
Mics are physical. It's a physical.
Yeah, but are they analog?
Analog, yeah.
Yeah, because you make something vibrate, don't you, when you sing?
Exactly.
Like a golden piece of little square that vibrates to the sound of your voice. Yes. And that's it, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really lovely to be in that studio. I really enjoyed that.
I did. I would go back there, and also we mixed in Bethnal Green with David French, and I was so pleased that Vince came over because he kind of like had a guiding hand with us in the mixing, which I love.
And also it was fun, you know, it was nice
to
be.
It was really good fun.
Traditional style studios, I think.
Yeah.
Working with cool people, you know.
Going to like strange places, lovely.
Next question's from Stick. Do you dunk your biscuits into your tea or your coffee?
I do. I try. I do dunk them sometimes, but I always hate those little bits that get left in the end. I hate them, so it's kind of a bit hit and miss for me if I do it or not. But it always has to be rich tea.
Yeah, I do it every day. I'm actually dunking digestives right now, which is a bit tricky. It's an art, really, because you know you have to. If you just leave it a microsecond too long, then you lose it, and then you have to slurp up those little floaty bits on the top of your tea.
Yeah,
but not good.
Michael Shane says, you've had such a long career now. Do you ever catch archive footage of yourselves and wonder when the hell did we do that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can't. I do think that. Yeah, you see some things and you think like, God, where's that from, or where did they get that from, or whatever. But it's really weird when you look at yourself as a younger person. I almost don't recognise who that person is at all. You know, it just seems like to me a completely different person. You know, it's like I'm not denouncing our career or anything, but yeah, it just seems like a completely different person. It's the youth. You can't regain it, you know. Yeah. Vince, I think you've aged very well, Vince.
You're pretty kind. And you too.
Always. I mean, you've got the great bone structure, that holds it all together, like Patsy would say from Absolute and Fabulous. My body hangs off these cheekbones.
Okay, easier one this time, or maybe not. It's from Cora, and the question is, what is your favourite citrus fruit?
For me, it's got to be lime.
That's pretty weird.
A weird question.
I'm a grapefruit person myself.
I love grapefruit as well. Don't get me wrong.
Plenty of grapefruit with lots of sugar, mate. You can't. That's me. It's the perfect breakfast.
Grapefruit juice, pink grapefruit juice is really nice to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. But I'm biased because it's big in Florida.
Next question. Hi guys, I've been a fan from the start. Just want to say congratulations on the new album and to Vince for your award. My question is, I've been to all your tours, but how do you find the energy and the passion after all these years to do what you do so well?
Well, it's going to take a good 6 months for me to muster up the energy. So you just have to be, I think, more psychologically ready to do it, because it's it's fun, you know. It's really fun singing your own songs and stuff, you know. We have a great touring family, that we miss them and we love them, and but I mean it's hard work, but it's really worth it. It's so worth it. Vince?
You know, I totally agree. I mean, you know, it's I mean, Andy is more of a touring person than I am. I'm more of a studio guy, but at the same time, now with the situation as it is in the world, I really miss it, man. I mean, I wish we were on tour. I wish we were reconnecting with all those friends that we have on tour. You know, it's actually, it's not so much. Obviously, I miss, you know, the whole contact with the audience, but I also miss all the guys that we work with, right?
Yeah.
You know,
and you love the bus, don't you?
You love the bus.
I love the bus, being on the bus.
I think the number one question that came in like over and over and over again was, what are your tour plans for the Neon?
Well, we can't, apparently, according to the email that you sent earlier, Richard, we can't actually say.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say until next week, aren't we? No.
I think we'll
There are plans.
The answer is there are plans, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of depends on venues and the health alerts and things like that.
Excellent. I should also say that the last question came from Andy Bodenham, so thanks, Andy. Next question is from Craig Porter. How did it come to pass that Andy sang backing vocals on Anton Deck's single Shout?
I'm not sure if they were in the next door room, but I think they were being recorded by Phil Harding, who'd mixed us on the Circus, I think. And they said, would you be willing to do some backing vocals? So I thought, yes, I'm going to make it sound fantastic, you know, which I did. And then they said, do you want a credit? And I said, you don't have to.
There have been lots of musical biopics recently, Bohemian Rhapsody and Rocket Man. If a biopic was made of the story of Erasure, what would it be called, and who would you choose to play yourselves? That's Louise Ramsey asked that question.
Mine would be called Hiding Under the Rhubarb Patch. And I think it would be nice if it was a cartoon, like an anime cartoon, not with real people. Or like maybe those, who are those claymation people? That would be really cool. Aardman, is it Aardman? With just the little dog. I think that'd be great. Me and you, Vince, as those little clay people. That'd be fantastic.
How about you, Vince?
I think Kylie Minogue should play me.
Kylie Minogue, yeah, she would. You know, she would.
With the same height, roughly.
Would shave her head and everything, Vince. She would to do it.
Rosie Gaines asked the next question.
Sorry, I love your new single, Kylie. It's fantastic.
Rosie Gaines asked the next question, which is simple but an interesting question. What are your favourite colours?
Mine changes from time to time, but it's a bit sort of lavenderish at the moment.
Well, I've always said green, even though I'm not wearing any green, but green is my favourite colour.
Yeah, you've got a lovely green wire behind you there.
There you go, perfect.
Like aqua green, yeah.
Interesting question from David Lindsay. In these very different times, has exploring new ways to promote and perform the album been particularly challenging, or do you see it as an exciting way to find new ways to do something totally different? Do you see yourselves taking elements of this approach and using them in the future?
To be honest, I've loved it. I've loved doing this, and yes, I think it's going to be a whole new way of working for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I don't love it, but again, it's like made. It's a different way of doing stuff, and I think that will definitely be incorporated in the future. You know, I mean, I would love to be sitting with all of you, you know, in a room together and having this chat and drinking a beer, rather than looking at you on a TV screen.
I mean, it is funny how you just naturally go to shake someone's hand or give them a hug, and then you just have to do an elbow bump. It just feels really strange, doing that.
Question for Vince and for Andy from Susan Gregory. Do you ever play practical jokes on each other? And what's the best one you've done?
I don't think we do. I don't think we've ever done jokes, have we? It's not like practical jokes, apart from like, do you put things in my shoes sometimes? I don't know.
I'm not saying.
On tour? I don't know. Like, no, I don't think we do anything.
I'm not saying. I mean, sometimes we do pretend. Actually, because I've done a lot of filming with Andy on tours and that, and it's when I catch him unawares.
Oh right, so he's got me like snoring videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, or recordings. I bet like 5 decibels. Like.
Yeah, then I'll tweet it.
Tweet my snoring. Oh, you wait.
Michael Dubois would like to know, is the name of the album The Neon taken from the lyric In the Sound of Silence?
No, I had no idea. It was in there. Did you, Vince?
No, that's new to me.
That's an amazing coincidence.
Well, it's probably a good moment to ask you where the album title came from.
Again, it was like one of those things, we couldn't think of anything, and we had like, I don't know, I can't remember any of the other names, and I just loved the word neon, and I thought like, just put "the" in the front of it, and that'd be quite cool. That was it, really.
Now, the truth is that Andy came up with the idea for the neon, and I said, can we just use the word "the"? So I suggested "the," and he went neon. And that was the album title.
Job done. Do you have any idea what theme the live shows, when they happen, will take? And that's from Clive Lynch.
Nope.
You do?
What? This used to be my playground.
Haven't you been having discussions with the guys about the way that it should work?
We have. We've got some ideas, but we're not going to tell you, obviously, because yeah, it needs to be a nice surprise.
Have you ever thought about doing an Other People's Songs version 2?
No!
Altamira.
No, that's forever finished.
Vince, what is your favourite remix that you've done for another artist? That's from Gareth McCallan.
Good question.
I don't know my favourite. I mean, I enjoy doing them all, I think,
Miss Kitten?
That was cool. That was cool to do, there is no favourite. I mean, I've enjoyed doing them all. There's some that have been more difficult than others, more problematic.
Yeah.
The way that I work with remixes is that someone will send me an idea and go, "Are you interested in remixing it?" And I listen to the track and go, "Yeah, I can maybe do something here, or maybe change it here." But sometimes I get these songs and they're so perfect, I go, "Well, what can I do?" I've no frigging idea how to go or what direction to take, and then I say, "No, I can't really help," So.
I mean, you do remixes on tour, don't you, Vince?
I do.
I thought you did an amazing mix of Lana Pillay, that Pistol in My Pocket, and she's got a new track out now called Human Race.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's it. Richard?
When you are making a new track, do you share it with any trusted friends or fellow artists or producers to get their feedback? That's from Andy Haggerty.
I share it with my loved ones, but that's also quite tricky because you don't want to put them in an awkward position if they don't like it, because it's very easy to take personal offence, from that. So it's a really tricky thing that to do that. Vince?
I don't never play anything to anybody.
No.
I mean, my wife is yet to hear the new album. So
Or ever afterwards, either.
ever.
Don't you ever play anything that you've made for your self enjoyment to listen to afterwards?
No. No.
No.
No, I mean, I listen to a track. I mean, for instance, if we're doing, if I'm working out stuff for touring them, you know,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's when I get to hear tracks again.
Yeah.
I tend to once it's done, I can't.
Oh, I forget.
I can't stop myself from going, oh my God, I wish I'd done that different.
I forget because you have to do it 1,000 times, don't you? You know.
Well, as much as you do, mate.
No. I mean, but because you have to program everything all the time, like
Yeah.
you know, for the album, then for the tour, like then it has to be different each time. So it's kind of like over and over and over, you know.
Yeah, but also I like doing that. It's quite nice. I mean, I would never choose to listen to one of our albums unless it was for touring. And then when I do get to hear it, I go, well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I love it. When I listen to some of our albums, if I haven't heard them for ages,
yeah,
put it on. I really like it, you know. But some of them kind of like get on your nerves, you know. I don't know why. Like I say, or something. It gets on my nerves a little bit, you know. Yeah. But I love Run to the Sun. I love that. Yeah.
And we're not playing that live next.
We're not playing it live because nobody will know what it is anyway.
Raquel Rodriguez Estoa would like to know, what song in the entire history of music would you like to have written?
America by Paul Simon.
Sorry, what Vince was that one called?
America by Paul Simon.
America, yeah.
Let us be lovers, we'll marry our fortunes together.
I honestly don't know. I think Song to the Siren by Tim Buckley.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
To demonstrate your commitment to the new album release, you must have a large neon sign installed in your living room, visible to you and the passing world. What does it say? Ben Harricks wants to know.
There's mine, look.
Mine will be like one of those noses. You know when they used to do that cartoon with the man looking over the wall with like an eye and then a nose going down, and then it went up again, and the eye, and then the eye, just with like two eyes. Oh, I suppose that would look like a penis, though, wouldn't it? So I don't know. Question mark?
Simon Skinner asks, on your next tour, if you could play one city or country you haven't played before, where would you choose to go?
I don't know.
Basildon.
We played there.
Did we?
We played
the festival, didn't we?
Yeah, we played the festival. I think maybe Iceland, Reykjavik.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, cool, actually. It really would be cool.
Yeah.
Would you like to do a James Bond theme? That's from Will Wood.
I mean, that was one of our kind of dreams, I think, to do a James Bond theme. And I think maybe that's where You Surround Me came from. I'm not sure the idea, but I mean, yeah, I would love to, but never in a million years would we be picked because of our what you call it, makeup. I don't know. Would you like to see one, Vince? Da, da, da.
Well, you know, I can't imagine that you could change those notes that many times.
No.
You've changed so many times already before. I mean, I think to have an amazing vocal from you would be...
Yeah, it would be amazing. I mean, when we have a transgender James Bond, then we might get the gig, but we'd probably be 100 by then. I don't know.
If you could have dinner with anyone famous, past or present, who would you most like to meet? From Karen Bruce.
It's a bit corny for me, but has to be Marilyn Monroe, because I love her and I think she was like grossly underestimated.
Vincent.
Well, I mean, I would probably like to have dinner with my mum.
Oh,
She's not super famous, but or she was not super famous, but it would be nice to have a dinner where I appreciate her more than I did when she was alive. You know,
she knows.
That would be really cool.
She knows.
Have either of you thought about playing a part in a film if you were asked? From Susie Hunt.
I would like to play a psycho killer.
I would like to play a really bad cowboy, like the bad guy.
Oh, what a bad, like an evil cowboy, you mean?
Oh yeah, the baddie.
Yeah. So we're both going to be like brave. Yeah. That's our underlying shadow side. Yeah.
Paul would like to know, sort of related, but sort of not. Paul would like to know if there's any chance of either of you appearing on the UK or the US versions of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, our affiliations have become closer, but it's entirely up to their crew and, you know, timing and all that kind of stuff. So, but I would love to, but I'm not going to invite myself.
How about you, Vince?
You know, I don't know that the kids today could compete. So it would be kind of unfair for me to take part in a show like that.
It wouldn't, because you're like a completely different, you know, opinion.
No, but I am Mr. Natural, you know. So
yeah, you know, I think it'd be quite good. I think it'd be good to have, like, you know.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to make the competition quiver.
Quiver. Well, that would be a very good theme for the drag.
Also, I mean, I've got to say though that I mean, you know, after that video that we've done, which I think
amazing,
going to play, which is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, that lip syncing. I'm sorry, that is
no
something else, and that's something I just never do. I mean, you watched that video that Andy and I did, the ABBA take.
Yeah,
lip syncing. My lip syncing is atrocious.
Well, your lip syncing.
Yeah, it was, and it's like, and I've got like those storyboards in front of me going there. I still got it wrong. You know?
But
so.
I mean, I mean, like, Ru has launched the careers of 1,000 queens, and I think it's very admirable. Really amazing what she's done.
Funnily enough, the next question is ABBA related. It's from Sean Collins, and he says, after ABBA-esque came out, did either of you ever run into or hear from any of the members of ABBA to get any feedback about your work?
We never have. I think we got. I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard that we got a letter from their accountants saying how much we owed them or something. I don't think that's true. But another thing I didn't know, I had the same birthday as Bjorn, so he's born on the 25th of April, which is kind of spooky. But I would love to meet either of the ladies or any of the men, and to me it would be like meeting royalty, really. I think, you know, yeah.
Okay, I'm conscious of the fact that I've only booked you till 9:30, and it's now 9:38.
So are we still going on?
How many more questions do you want to do?
Did we get cut off? Let's go till 9:45.
Okay, I'll keep asking questions till 9:45.
Yeah.
If each of you was asked to pick one Erasure song to represent humanity and was put inside a probe that would go into deep space to contact other civilizations, which song would it be and why? And that's from Caesar.
For me, it would be Tenderest Moments.
I would say Ola Moore.
Yay!
Ola
The
Moore.
in space.
Yeah, Ola Moore in space. Yeah, love it.
Kev Grant would like to know, has Erasure ever written any songs for any other groups?
We haven't, because we're so greedy, we always keep them for ourselves.
This is from Little Keyboard. Andy, do you give your opinion when you don't like one of Vince's sounds or musical ideas? Vince, do you make comments on Andy's lyrics?
I think we both feel it when it happens. You know, Vince is really constructive with lyrics, because I do get stuck, you know, and I kind of like I say things that you wouldn't necessarily say in a song. So he just puts it into a song format, the line that I'm trying to say, which is, that's what he does.
I mean, I think sometimes I get stuck on rhythms because we do a song that's in a real basic format, and I go, man, I can't hear the rhythm behind this.
You can't.
I can't, and then you say, oh, you know, this is, think about this track, you know, diddle 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 diddle, and then that suddenly makes it into a rhythmical track, which I could have never have imagined. Yeah. So we both interfere with what we each other do, and it's in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
Carolina Marconi asks, I would like to know if you have any expectations for your new album.
You can't have expectations because you just can't.
I expect there'll be a few
leftovers, yeah, in the bargain basement bin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is your favorite song on the Neon and why? That's from Carlos Uncanan.
New Horizons is my favorite song. I only say that because I just learned what the real title is, because I've been saying it it's been working titles for such a long time. But New Horizons is my favourite song.
That's why Vince gets me so confused with these working titles. Honestly, when it's coming to like naming the songs, and you've got these working titles, and then it's like one of the working titles for some reason will jump to another song, and it's like, and you're just going, oh, that doesn't go like that, you know. But mine is Kid, You're Not Alone, and Nerves of Steel.
Gavin says, you're both great cooks, so I'm wondering, what's your favourite dish to make at the moment?
At the moment, I'm being really lazy because I'm cooking for one. So...
butternut squash all the way, yeah?
Yeah, you know, I love eggs and bacon.
That dish?
You have to be a culinary expert to make eggs and bacon.
I just made a fabulous moussaka. Actually, because I'm signed up to this farm to place thing. So
yeah.
A big box of vegetables every week, and you don't know what to do with it. So last week it was loads of aubergines, and I'm thinking, what the hell can I do with that? And moussaka. It went down a treat.
Fabulous. So how do you get your bechamel sauce to be fluffy, Vince? What's the secret?
Okay, the secret is this. You put all of the ingredients, you don't start like with butter and flour and a little bit of milk. You put it all in at once.
Right, all at once.
Butter, flour, milk. Okay, that's the basic ingredient. And then you stir like nuts. You stir like...
You don't use vegetable stock?
No, it's always milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you flavour it how you want. You know, I'll put a bit of parmesan in it or whatever. And actually, what I did, then I stirred in an egg. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, some cottage cheese.
Oh wow, that's good.
And you just melt it all through. You're mixing it like nuts, you know.
Yeah.
That becomes the top layer over the moussaka.
Would you ever put nutmeg in moussaka?
No.
No.
Only because I'm not a fan of nutmeg.
Okay, so not even a teeny.
No, I'm not. It's just one of those things I don't like. I don't like.
Yeah. Well, it is a strange taste. I'm not sure why it was used in the first place. It's like, like mulled wine, I suppose. Was it?
Yeah,
Was it?
It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything for me, you know. I mean, I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I'm coming out. It's like being it's like a profession. All right, everybody. I don't like
nutmeg. You nutmeg phobia. No, nutmeg phobic. Like,
Rich P would like to know what's in your pockets right now.
my pockets, I haven't got anything in them at all. Sorry. Elephant. Elephant.
And Mark Livingston would like to know what's the first thing that you'll do when you meet up again.
Well, I'm hoping that then you'll be able to hug, but hopefully we'll go down round the corner and have a pint.
Yeah, and a packet of crisps.
Yeah.
What flavour?
Cheese and onion.
Oh, today, Vince, I had pork scratchings. They were like the genuine, all right. But you know, now the packets are getting tinier and tinier. It's like not even one claw, right? And it's like 675 calories in one teeny bag.
No, one scratch.
I think, how much can if you eat your nails or chew your nails, how many calories has that got in it?
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question from Sergio Martin. Andy, what is the best and worst of Vince? Vince, what is the best and worst of Andy?
I mean, we really don't. You don't think about those things, really. I mean, I'm not the most punctual person, So I think Vince has patience in that regard. I think the thing is, we kind of encourage each other with bad habits, like with having a cigarette or a beer or whatever, But at the same time, we have loads of fun when we go out. So it's all swings and roundabouts. It's like any other couple, like platonic couple. It's great. Love it.
I don't have any. I think we have an amazing relationship.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that. It's been how long?
It's probably to the day, Vince, because it was like that was supposedly when we first met for Wonderland. About now, I mean, I would love to do some surgical enhancements on Vince, but he probably wouldn't let me. A DIY kit that I'm going to bring in my bag. Yay! Is that Tracy? Hi, Tracy.
Congratulations.
I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Oh.
So my champagne just arrived for our party.
Right, I'm going to remove myself from this room and I'm going to leave you to say your goodbyes.
Okay.
Thank you very much on behalf of all the people who submitted questions that were answered. Sorry we couldn't get more done.
Thanks, Richard. We really appreciate it. Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
We know you go beyond what's expected of you. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's it, Vince. I mean,
all right, buddy. We'll probably be zooming at some point next week. So
yeah, zooming. Yeah, zooming. Oh, are we? Oh, us two, you mean? Or
yeah. Or Skyping or something, doing something.
Yeah. All right, let's do that. Yeah. I mean, honest, I haven't listened through to all those tracks yet, Vince.
Don't worry. It's not. It's just a
bit leisurely, and all.
Yeah. If anything hits you, you go, oh,
anything.
Yeah. No worries.
No, brilliant. So have a great weekend then.
You too.
I love you, and thank you very much for doing a fabulous album with me.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Cheers,
Thank
guys.
You. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
If if you're still watching and you can see me, and I've messed up, but I'm about to do the right thing now. Apologies.